I have 3 daughters, 17 great-grandchildren, 7 grandchildren.
I'm a grandmother and I'm a great-grandmother.
I love retirement.
I will say I'm happy to be retired.
I can do as I please.
I enjoy cooking and entertaining.
I'm 81 years old.
I truly enjoy life.
I have lived around Muhammad, probably about 20 years. And I moved to Champaign and I found out I didn't like it. And so when this came up, my daughter called me and said, "Mom, I can put your name in for one of the housing that's being built in Muhammad." I said, "Do it."
Well, I had lived for several years at another location in Champaign. And when it was publicized about the new facility at Muhammad, I was very anxious. In fact, I went out there probably once a week for months to see the progress. And then I went through Champaign County Housing Authority, and my good friend Helen, her daughter, put our applications online. And that's how we became residents of Muhammad.
In today's society, over 10,000 Americans are turning 65 and moving toward retirement every day.
Affordable housing for seniors is a serious problem. There were 18 units that we helped put together in Muhammad. 18 units is just obviously a drop in the bucket as to what's taken place. And with all the baby boomers that are retiring soon, we're going to need more and more of these types of facilities to address those needs in various communities throughout probably Champaign County.
As baby boomers, we all knew that it's a huge population and that accommodations were going to have to be made that were different than the paradigms in the past. So that excess of these folks all at one time finding themselves in the challenges of living in an economy that is driven beautifully if you can make more money, get more jobs, but if you're unable to do that, it's extremely challenging and you really have no options.
From my experience, I know that a number of individuals, seniors, plan for retirement. They plan for that time when they will no longer be working. However, you have illnesses, health issues, death of a spouse that change their life and change those plans. Affordable housing make it possible for those seniors to still live decently and affordably in the communities that they've lived in their entire life.
There's a phrase, NIMBY, I think, not in my backyard. And you hear that about whether it's public housing or affordable housing, or you hear it about environmental concerns or things of that nature. But I would want this in my backyard.
Well, I think finding a place for low income is rather difficult. And when you do find it, of course, it's hard to get in because there's quite a waiting list. But where I live is very nice, very comfortable. But I have been to one of the new places out at Muhammad, and I liked it very well. It's nice to live next to your children, close to your children in the same town. And I know the one in Muhammad, I think a lot of people from that community moved there so they could stay in the community where they have been living.
Public housing in most cases is 100% funded by the federal government. Affordable housing, we use partnerships, public-private partnerships, in order to ensure that we're able to build affordable housing in the communities that have needs for it, and our seniors can maintain their quality of life without spending more on their housing needs.
Public versus affordable, I don't even equate those two. To me, they're very different. When a developer comes in and wants to put housing that has multiple dwelling units in the same building or in multiple buildings, but on one piece of land, the zoning for that doesn't give any distinguishment into who might live there, how big the houses are, how big the dwelling units are. So we function on it needs multi-family zoning. So you go and you bring in a housing authority type model, and of course the Twitter feed is public housing. So what you have to do is fight the connotations that public housing has had in larger communities and the challenges there, and look at how the model would be done in a small community like Mahomet. We don't need affordable housing for massive amounts of people we need it for seniors. It's a different model. So most of the public housing is a high density, high volume that you hear, and that's what people visualize. And for a small community, that is exactly opposite of what they want to be. For Mahomet, it made a big difference to know how many units were going to be on the size of parcel, and actually it delivered at a much lower density and for senior housing than it could have done in the private sector. If communities are truly behind the need to fulfill affordable housing for seniors, working with an entity such as the Housing Authority of Champaign County is about the only way that it's going to get done, because the private sector hasn't been shown to be interested despite the high demand.
Working with Housing Authority on this project is right up there with anything I've done in the community. It just felt very good to be part of this project. Gave me goosebumps at the ribbon cutting when we had that one cold day a couple months ago. It's obviously a growing market. I'm getting closer and closer. Maybe in some eyes I am senior now, but it was very attractive housing, and it was well located, and it's all on one level to be accessible for the seniors with the garage, and you came out of your car right into your unit. And it just made sense that with the growing population of seniors, that this would be very attractive to them. It's more like a resort. It doesn't look institutional whatsoever. It's like a resort. I'd like to live there.
What's exciting is the Housing Authority of Champaign County has a number of exciting projects coming to fruition very soon. Not just affordable housing for senior, persons with disabilities, but we also have family housing that's affordable that's coming down the pipeline. One of the newest developments that we're working on is Oakfield Place in Henry, Illinois. It's a $7 million development, 30 units for seniors 55 and up. Some of the amenities that's coming along with this energy efficient development is a shared garden, a fitness center, a reading room, a library, and a computer lab.
I lived in an apartment and paid market value, and things are very expensive. You know, there's so many of us that are retired that do live on limited income, and the property value is so high, rental, that most of us can't afford it. For new properties to be being built and giving us the opportunity to live in beautiful homes, I think it's wonderful.
It's got everything that I wished for in my life, and when you move out of a 2.5 room apartment into a 5-room, it's fantastic. You're in heaven, you know, and I love it. I love it. I love the bigness of it. I feel like I'm in my own home.
I was very impressed with the bathroom, especially because it's a walk-in shower. We don't have tubs. And it's got the sidebars. The wide doorways, I think, is a real plus, because, you know, people who are in wheelchairs or even walkers have a hard time getting in and out of doorways. The upkeep is so much less than having all the carpeting, and it just is beautiful. A lot of the facilities that we have now are getting old. They're outdated. There doesn't seem to be monies aside to fix things. And I think it's just with so many seniors needing housing, with the economy being so bad right now, I just hope they keep building.
We were very lucky, and I love the place. You couldn't move me with a truck.